How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, Justin Collects. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on everything on the channel, including our weekly live streams called Collecting Justified. We have here every Saturday night at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come hang out with us. We talk action figures and just, try to justify our collections. All this plastic crack that we are all so, addicted to. Anyway, so as you can see here, I've got some new toys that I'm excited to show off today. These are from a company called Blokees. You might be familiar with them. They did a soft launch in 2024. It was mainly Transformers. They do different style model kits, but they're more like a click and connect / build-a-figure type thing. There's no paint necessary or anything like that. But this year they're launching like a Minions line, a Sesame Street line, Ultraman, all kinds of stuff. Including what you see right here in front of you, Pokemon. And you may notice that there's not much in English on these boxes. Maybe just the Pokemon logo. And that is because they do not have the US license to release these over here yet in the United States. They're working on it. They're trying to get it moved over. But until then, you can find these on AliExpress. Always use caution when using AliExpress. It's a great place to buy toys. But, check with the sellers, check the reviews, make sure they're reputable sellers, and make sure you know what you're buying. Because, you can get some knockoffs, you can get some different stuff. You can also order these off a website called Gundamit. I think you can only get these guys in, all four of them all together. And they're more expensive there. So, whichever way you want to get them, I do recommend getting them, if you're interested, getting them as soon as you can. Because we don't know exactly when these are coming to the US. Fingers crossed that they actually are. So, I'm excited to open these, pop them together, and see how they compare to my other Pokemon figures. Let's look at the box and see what we get here with both these figures. So you can see the side, it shows off all the Pokemon from Wave 1 in both boxes. Charizard, Greninja, Ceruledge, and honestly I cannot remember that one's name off the top of my head. It's one of the new ones. It's like the Sprigatito evolution line. I don't know. I love Pokemon. I stay up to date, but a lot of these new ones, it's hard. It takes a while for it to, really sink into my mind and remember all the names for some of these new ones. I know, what a newbie, right? But on the back right here, you can see what Charizard comes with. And just that articulation and everything, the fire effects. They do come with these awesome bases. And a flight stand arm, I believe. And then Greninja, same thing. So it comes with a throwing star. Look at those water effects and that base. So I'm excited to bust these guys open and see exactly what we're working with here. So after you cut the plastic, you're just going to pop the top off here. And we're going to slide. Let me move the Greninja box to the floor real quick. Give myself some more space. Slide this tray out. Wow. This is full of stuff. So yeah. Oh, and so you get your little instruction manual. It, shows you how to pop them together. Nice little picture of all of them right there. See all the pieces he comes with. And then on the back, it just kind of continues all the instructions right there. So, looking at the tray, you see just all the pieces, everything's already painted or molded in whatever color it needs to be, the plastic. Get a little baggie, I guess these are like the ball joints, and the pieces of the arm for the stand. And this is the base itself, and I don't know what that is in there, we'll figure it out. And it's interesting that instead of another tray under that tray, the other pieces of Charizard are just in this bag. So I really don't like that because it could scuff right here. I really wish they would just do another tray under this tray, because it's deep enough. You could have definitely done a tray, but I guess maybe it's to save money. So anyway, so here is Charizard's torso. You see there's like a little butterfly joint in there, so that's interesting. Yeah, got some dark spots in my yellow. I don't know how well you can see that on camera. And let's just dump the rest out. So I guess these are the legs and maybe the neck. I don't know. Maybe the neck. I'll figure it all out. Here's little fire effects that go on the base. Alright, so the downside of ordering this from overseas is all the instructions are absolutely not in English, so you get to watch me struggle to put this guy together. So neck piece right there, pop the head on. So that worked right there pretty good. And this leg, I assume that's that side. Ooh, it's a very satisfying pop when you pop those pieces on. That's nice. And then, if I can get it to focus, these arm pieces. And there is a little R right there inside there to let me know that's the right arm. And there we go. And there we go. Nice satisfying pop right there. And bam. See? Everything pops together. Super easy. Alright, so I'm going to finish popping this guy together, and then we'll take a look at the articulation, the base, and do a comparison with the Pokemon Select Charizard. So guys, we've got the Blokees Charizard put together on his base. You kind of have to, you don't have to put the base together, but you have to snap those, plug those fire effect pieces in. And the most annoying part of this set, honestly, has nothing to do with the Charizard himself. It is putting the sticker on this little volcano-like base. So it looks like all these bigger Blokees figures / model kits, you know, they call them model kits, to get around, I guess, licensing and everything. But it's a Build-A-Figure. It's snapping it all together. But I digress. The most annoying part is these bases. It's going to be putting those stickers on there, and it looks like each figure is going to come with one of these bases. You get like these effects. You'll see when I get Greninja up here too, I went ahead and snapped him together. And just the fire on these, they're good and translucent. It looks like import quality. And I'll say I don't have a SH Figure Arts Charizard, but the flame on this Blokees Charizard tail looks a lot like what the SHF looks like from pictures. I've got him doing the Fire Blast effect. He also comes with a Flamethrower effect, depending on which attack you want him to do. And yeah, he looks great. I'll go over articulation here in a minute, and I'm going to compare him to my Jazwares Charizard from Pokemon Select. And like I said, I don't have an SHF Charizard, but I do have the SH Figure Arts Blastoise. So we'll put those two side by side, these two side by side, and see, I mean, if it works. And he's a little smaller, but I think he's going to work. Okay, so here you can see the Blokees Charizard on the right, and how he compares to the Jazwares Charizard on the left. And I want to begin this comparison by saying I've never had the SH Figure Arts Charizard, but this Jazwares one, to me, was just my definitive Charizard in my collection. It's the best one I had. And honestly, I thought, you know, they're probably never going to re-release the SHF, so this is going to be my definitive Charizard in my collection. It's going to be the best one I can get. And oh boy, was I wrong. Where this guy is still good for the price point. What you're looking at here is one at the exact same price point that is just so much better. I compare this guy to SHF quality, in all honesty. So, real quick, let's put Blastoise in here. Let's move Charizard out of the way, and you can see they scale perfect. You see the kind of like a matte finish on both. The Blokees just, oh, they did such a good job on this. It's not perfect. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. But they did a great job. And for this to be their first line of these Pokemon figures, I'm extremely impressed. I'm going to move Blastoise out of the way here and bring the Pokemon Select Charizard back into frame. You can tell the Jazwares one is bigger. He's a little bigger, but you can really tell it's that glossy finish, where with the Blokees, well, everything is matte. And I will say, so the Jazwares one probably does have a little more articulation. So with him, first of all, there's pins and there's gaps, right? And it's glossy. But the tail's segmented, and look at the difference. There's flame effects too. And this guy doesn't come with any, he comes with a flight stand, but he doesn't come with any fire effects. So his mouth articulates, he has the neck, the wings are good, he has that hole right there for the flight stand. But some of the joints are kind of ugly, and like the elbows and all that. And you get a lot of movement, but it might not be the most visually appealing, right? But it's a good $20 figure, I'll stand by that. But then you get into Blokees, where these are anywhere between 20 to 30, right? Matte finish, articulated jaw, and articulated tongue in there. It's kind of hard for me to get. I don't really have fingernails, but you can see it moving. All that movement out of the neck. So since you snap this guy together, there's like a ball joint right there, another one right there, and then a hinge up here. And you get a lot of movement in the head and tilt, and you just give him a lot of emotion, a lot of different flying poses and all that good stuff. Just the paint looks good. He does have kind of like a butterfly joint inset in there, so you don't get a lot of it, a lot out of it, but it hides the joint, and you do get some motion. It's kind of more of a single jointed elbow, but you do get a lot of range and pivot and go complete, turning out of there. And it's pretty much pinless. I see a pin right there on that side. Yeah. The legs is another big thing, where you see there's always going to be some sort of gap, but with the Jazwares you see this huge gap right there. But with this, it's a lot more seamless. You do have motion at the knee. Again, it's not as much articulation. And you have some at the foot. And of course, everything turns. This can go a full 360. All that good stuff. Of course, Charizard, these bulky Pokemon, there's never going to be anything at the torso. And you don't need there to be. You get plenty of motion out of everything else. And also, you do have a full joint right there on the arm. Well, the wrist, I mean. And with the tail, everything's segmented. It's its own joints. This is like a Build-A-Figure. So, right there, it pops off pretty easy. You just snap it right back on. But you can get this guy into any pose you would want him in. And the wings, fully articulated. You can move them up, down. See that joint in there. And right there. And it's pretty seamless. It looks good. You can really get him into that tail he's popping off. Some really cool dynamic poses. And just the attention to detail on these, I'm very, very impressed. Again, this guy is okay. He's okay. But if you're looking for a definitive Charizard figure in your collection, and you don't want to fork out the money for the SH Figure Arts, I'd say Blokees is the way to go, man. Keep an eye on this company. Alright guys, so here is the Blokees Greninja, air quotes, model kit. In all of its glory, on the flight stand, on the base, you got those awesome translucent water effects. It's like 3 different pieces right there, whereas if the Charizard one was 4 different fire effect pieces. He comes with his water blade, of course, his water shuriken, and you can, swap those weapon holding hands to either side. He comes with a couple different sets of hands, and I'll go over that. And it's just awesome, man. To me, this scale works for 1/12 scale. The only other Greninja figure I have is the Jazwares Pokemon Select line Greninja. And so I'll get this guy off the stand and we'll compare those size-wise and articulation and everything. And I'll show you exactly why this Blokees model kit, air quotes, model kit, Greninja blows any of the other Greninjas out of the water. Pun intended. Alright guys, so here is the Greninja comparison. Of course, this is the Blokees on the right and the Jazwares Pokemon Select on the left. And as you can tell, there is a huge size discrepancy. And also, you might be able to tell, these guys, neither of them stand up very well on their own. So I've got their bases kind of hooked up to them in the back, holding them up, kind of that anchor point. So, I'm going to be honest, the Blokees blows the Jazwares Pokemon Select one out of the water in color, paint, articulation. The Jazwares one, so you can see the size difference. Now I'm going to take him off the stand. Of course, like, he comes with the stand, the generic Pokemon Select one, and 2 water shurikens. He's a darker blue color, and the only thing this guy has on the Blokees, to be honest, is you can articulate the tongue. So that's pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty neat. But that's it, man. Besides that, he's a loose mess. He'll never stand up on his own, like, even close. And just the hips are loose. The arms are like, I don't know. I've never really cared for this figure too much. And I'm really happy to have, I'm going to take him off the stand, the Blokees one. So, instantly, better color, better shade of blue. It's 100 times better. And you also get a better stand, like more, got a sticker on the top of it right there. And this arm's a lot more dynamic too. And with this guy, you get more accessories. You get 1 water shuriken that just clips on to a hand. You get his water blade that I have this hand right here. It's got like a peg in there where you hook it on. He comes with a couple extra feet for like different posing. So I've got like the more straight feet. He's got these feet that are kind of angled. Of course, you get 1 for each side. And so I've got 1 flat hand on here. He comes with a second flat hand. And this hand that's kind of for like superhero posing or like superhero landing posing. It's just got that bend to it because he doesn't have any articulation or swivel at the wrists. But besides that, you're looking at pinless, like import level joints right here. So let's go through it real quick. Okay, so for articulation, you get full swivel at the head. You're not getting any tilt or anything. It's inset to this separate piece of the tongue, and it's a very pliable, like rubbery plastic, but there's no bendy wire. It's not going to hold any shape that you move it to. It's just going to always pop back to that generic look, which is fine. That's what you need for Greninja. You don't need it to do too much. And then you're coming down to the shoulders. It's just like a joint that'll move all the way around, come out, and it just does what you need it to do. It's almost like a inset butterfly joint kind of thing. You get a lot of motion. It's not a butterfly joint at all in there. Well, I guess you could say it's a little bit of a motion in there, but put his hands flat together like that. Just get a lot of movement. Come back that far. Lots of different dynamic poses. With the elbow, these are like single jointed pinless elbows, but you do get That's about 90 degrees. And a swivel there. No swivel at the wrist, like I said, because the hands pop off like that. That's a big drawback to this, but it being smaller arms and such, I'm guessing they didn't want to risk it being too loose, like loosey-goosey. It's a single diaphragm joint right here, so you get a little bit of tilt, not a whole lot. Come forward about that much, back about that, like none, so he won't move back at all. It's hindered because, see, the back comes down to a point, and then there's this spike right here. So that's a soft rubber. With the legs, you know, he can do the splits. He can kick up. He does go out, but that will rotate all the way around. Double jointed knee, pinless, that's hidden really well. You can kind of see how it works in there. No swivel at the boot or anything. And that's really why you get these extra feet if you need them to be at an angle for dynamic posing. So, I like this guy. This is going to be my definitive Greninja until maybe someone might make a better one. But this one is miles better than this one. Just look at that. Just the scaling and the color. So much better. I can't wait to see what Blokees does in the future. So, my final thoughts on these Pokemon, again, air quotes, model kits from Blokees. So, of course, first of all, like I've said several times in the video, don't be intimidated. They are not pure model kits. You snap them together like a Build-A-Figure. They come with easy-to-follow instructions. The most pain in the butt part will be adding that sticker to these display bases. I say if you're any type of Pokemon fan, get these things. The downside is we don't know if they win or if they ever will be widely available in the US. I know at Toy Fair they said that they've got other licenses that they're trying to get transferred over to the US to go with, you know, what they're launching this year in 2025. But I hope they do. I hope they're more widely available. Until then, just do your research. AliExpress, if you know, if that's your only option, that's the way I went, because I didn't want the full set. Now, with how good these are, I'm contemplating going back and getting the other two out of the set. I'm going to be all in on these, to be honest with you. I ordered I believe it's 6 of the small Pokemon, 2. I might post a video on here of those. If not, I'll have pictures on Instagram. Either way. But I'm really blown away. I'd recommend these to any Pokemon fan. These will go well in your Pokemon display with your, you know, regular size like Jazwares or Tomy Pokemon figures. SH Figure Arts, I feel like they blend in smoothly. Like I showed the Blastoise here next to that Charizard, and they look great together. And yeah, I'm very excited to see the direction Blokees take. I haven't even opened my smaller Pokemon yet. I really hope the quality holds up and it's comparable to these. Yeah, keep up the good work, Blokees. I'm a fan so far of this line. And yeah, guys, stay tuned. Hopefully I get more in at some point. Hopefully they announce Wave 2 at some point. Because again, this is only Wave 1 and it's already this good. I don't know. Anyway, I've got nothing but good things to say except for those stupid stickers on the bases. Could we just get those pre-attached or something? Because that's a headache. It's a headache. Also, what I do have to say, the flame effects stay into the pegs pretty good. These water effects on the Greninja want to constantly fall off anytime you move the base. That's a little annoying. So, but besides that, it's nothing but good things to say. Nothing but good things. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And also, stay tuned to the channel every Saturday night at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a live show. I go live with my 4 co-hosts, David, Kenny from Encounter Culture, Alexi, and Andrew. And we justify our collecting on the name of the show is Collecting Justified. It's named appropriately. But guys, until next time, I appreciate you.